Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we finally have something exciting to talk about because the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 has basically been confirmed. After months of leaks, rumors, and speculation, DJI's latest FCC filing has officially given us our first real signs that the Pocket 4 is done, locked in, and getting ready for launch. And yes, this filing confirms several important details about the upcoming model, including its battery, connectivity, and even hints about its hardware design. So let's break down everything we know so far in the simplest way possible. So here's what's happened. The new DJI Pocket 4 has passed through the FCC under the model number OP041. Now, when a product hits the FCC database, that means the hardware is finalized. DJI isn't testing concepts anymore. This is the production-ready device. This step only happens when a company is preparing to release the product to the public. And even though the FCC hides photos and manuals for a few months, they can't hide the key data. That's exactly where things get interesting. One of the first things people noticed is the upgraded battery. DJI is moving from the Pocket 3's 1300 mAh pack to a new 1545 mAh battery, still running at 7.7 volts. That might not sound huge at first, but it's literally around an 18% increase in capacity. And knowing DJI's usual marketing, this will probably be promoted as a 1600 mAh battery once everything becomes official. In everyday use, that means longer shooting time, likely somewhere between 15 to 18% more runtime. For a tiny camera like this, that upgrade is actually very meaningful because creators depend on it during travel, vlogs, and outdoor shoots. What's funny is that DJI is somehow bumping up the battery while keeping the overall weight low, just like they did with some of their recent drones and cameras. They never talk about how they do it, but you can tell they're refining internal components and materials to make everything more efficient. It's not a huge redesign, at least not from what we can see so far, but the improvements feel smart and practical. The filing also confirms that the Pocket 4 still supports Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth Low Energy. Nothing too surprising there. We don't see Wi-Fi 6 or 6E in the official paperwork, but sometimes DJI keeps those details hidden until launch, so we'll have to wait and see. The physical outline shown in the documents also looks very similar to the Pocket 3, so if you're expecting a dramatic new shape or size, that probably isn't happening. It looks like DJI is sticking to a proven design, but upgrading the brains and camera inside. Now let's talk about the fun part, the rumored specs floating around. These aren't confirmed in the FCC filing, but they're coming from sources that got the Pocket 3 details right, so they're worth mentioning. The biggest upgrade everyone's talking about is the sensor. The Pocket 4 is expected to move to a 1-inch plus sensor or possibly a square-style sensor similar to the Osmo Action 6 and the Osmo 360. If that's true, low light performance and dynamic range could see a noticeable jump. Some leaks even claim we could see 6K at 60 frames per second or variable aperture somewhere around f2.0 to f4.0. Others suggest DJI might stick to a built-in ND system, but an adjustable aperture would definitely be the more exciting option. There's also talk about improved stabilization powered by more advanced AI tracking, better autofocus, and maybe even a dual lens setup. Audio may get upgraded too, possibly moving to a 4-microphone system with cleaner wireless mic support. None of these are confirmed yet, but with the FCC now showing the device is close to release, we won't have to wait long to see what's real and what's just rumors. So let's get into the question everyone's asking. When is this thing coming out? Based on everything happening right now, the most reliable date being thrown around is December 23, 2025. That lines up with DJI's typical late-year release cycle, and the timing of the FCC approval makes sense. Once a device hits the FCC, it usually launches within weeks. So unless DJI delays things for marketing reasons, December 18th is looking extremely likely. As for the price, there's no official number yet, but industry analysts expect the Pocket 4 to land somewhere around $499 to $599 for the base model, and probably around $699 to $799 for the creator combo. DJI tends to stay in a consistent price range with each generation, and with all these upgrades, that prediction feels realistic. So overall, what do we have? A bigger battery confirmed, the hardware finalized, the design mostly familiar, and rumors of a much more powerful sensor and new features under the hood. It's shaping up to be a meaningful upgrade, especially for people who skip the Pocket 3 or are ready for something more advanced. With the launch date closing in, this is probably the last quiet period before we start seeing leaks, teasers, and eventually DJI's official announcement. That's everything we know for now. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because as soon as the Pocket 4 gets officially revealed, I'll be covering every detail for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll